Vice President Biden, you criticized President Trump's decision to kill the Iranian General Soleimani without first going to Congress. Are there any circumstances other than a direct attack on the United States where you would take military action without congressional approval?
I ran the first time as a 29-year-old kid against the war in Vietnam on the grounds that only way to take a nation to war is with the informed consent of the American people. The informed consent of the American people.
My bill enumerates 5 instances where the president may use force. First, to repel without congressional authority at the outset.
President, just to be clear, the Obama-Biden administration did not ask Congress for permission multiple times when it took military action. So would the Biden doctrine be different?
No, there was the authorization for the use of military force that was passed by the United States Congress, House and Senate, and signed by the president. That was the authority. It does not give authority to go into Iran. It gave authority to deal with these other issues.
It's an act of war.
So the United States does
it could
what?
take whatever action it deems appropriate.
A disproportionate response. That's what is needed. If we find out they did that, we're going to have to get tough.
Bomb Tehran? What do you
We're going to have to get
Joe
tough.
Biden, and I approve this message.
We live in the most dangerous moment in a generation. Our world set on edge by an erratic, unstable president. This is a moment that requires strong, steady, stable leadership.
Completely moot point. With Iran. But everything was kind of calm for a while. Obama did something, and now he's stirring up Iran. Why?
Do you want to go through the? You know what? Do you want to go through the Iran deal?
Iran has now fulfilled key commitments under the nuclear deal. It cuts off all the pathways for Iran getting a nuclear weapon. Before the deal, it had installed nearly 20,000 centrifuges. Today, Iran has removed 2/3 of those machines.
This week, acknowledged that they're building advanced centrifuges, and Iran's supreme leader announced earlier this week he's ordered preparations to increase uranium enrichment.
If Iran tries to cheat, they try to build a bomb covertly, we will catch them. A deal that will prevent Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Iran is not developing a nuclear weapon.
It's agreed to never, ever pursue a nuclear weapon.
The Foreign Minister does say in the interview, we are not dismantling any centrifuges. We are not dismantling any equipment. President Rouhani said in a separate interview, we are not going to destroy any centrifuges.
Well, again,
are they going rogue on this deal?
How Iranian officials characterize this for a domestic audience, it matters far less to us.
They're just making these comments for domestic political consumption. CNN is broadcast outside of Iran, right? You could confirm.
Yeah, I've seen it here.
So aren't they also sending a message to you, to the president, to the U.S.? It's not just domestic political consumption if they're talking to a broader audience.
I don't speak Farsi.
Don't those two actions demonstrate both the weakness of the Iran deal in the sense that they're so ready to start with the centrifuges and the enrichment of uranium, so, like that, and not to mention how insincere the Iranians were about it.
No, all it demonstrates is it's a response to what Trump did.
Are you considering allowing such transactions? And if so, is that not a betrayal of your assurances that most U.S. sanctions would stay in place?
That's not taking. Let me say broadly that so long as Iran is carrying out its end of the bargain, we think it's important for the world community to carry out our end of the bargain. They have, in fact, based on the presentations that were made by the IAEA this morning to the P5+1, have in fact followed the implementation steps that were laid out.
The Obama administration actively misled Congress about an effort to help Iran before the deal was signed.
We are going to have to find ways to help Iran get access to its own money.
Even before the deal was signed?
No, this is part of how the deal was implemented and keeping.
But the deal had not yet been signed when you lifted the sanctions on that $5.7 billion.
No, this was part of our commitment as we were negotiating the deal. It was Iran's own money that they had to get access to.
Iran released 5 Americans who were unjustly detained on Iranian soil.
Was this money ransom for the folks that were released?
No, it was not. It is against the policy of the United States to pay ransom for hostages. This all came to a head at the same time.
Everything was kind of calm for a while. Obama did something.
Look, sometimes hypocrisy is just hitting you so hard in the face you don't know what to do with it.